Grand Rising Star family. I did a live before and my mic wasn't turned on for YouTube. And so I just had to jump on here again. And yeah, going to be talking about my brand new map that I'm so excited about. Just adjust it this way because otherwise I just won't be happy about that. This is the Christos Avatar 15 dimensional time matrix map. And I'm obsessed. I have an addiction to multidimensional maths. This is my first one, and it's a little bit more petite and more simple, but yeah, it's really really awesome. This one is the expanded map. Grand Rising, everyone. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about aliens and dimensions, ghosts, spirits, entities, nature spirits, elementals, Sasquatch, you name it. And talking about my books, Learn How to Make Contact with Benevolent Aliens, and also 5D consciousness activations. This one's very much beginner. This one's a little bit more advanced, still beginner, kind of, if you're into all this stuff. Yeah. If you have any questions about aliens, dimensions, consciousness, ascension, you name it, put it in the chat. And yeah, we'll do a Q&A. Um, Thank you for the hearts and the love. I hope you guys are doing well today on this interesting day. It's interesting times that we're going through right now. It's wild. How have your dreams been going? Because mine have been like out of this world. The one I had last night was so incredible, and I've been meaning to make a video on it, and I will just say it here now. So there was like these three humans that were like after me, and they were 3 males, and I was, like, in my parents' old home and, like, hiding out there, and then they found where I was, and they, like, tried to light a fire outside, they tried to, like, get in, and one of them got in through the back, and I knew at that point, I was like, "Okay, I don't have any weapons, I don't have anything, all I have are my light abilities," and at that point, I started to become more consciously aware in my dreams, so I was starting to lucid dream. And it was so wild. I ended up creating these, like, green etheric energy ball egg things, and it was like a mirrored image of the humans that were, like, after me. It was a mirrored image of their, like, etheric body structure and their, like, toroidal fields and everything, and I was able to systematically restructure their spirit or their, like, being into a benevolent, like, service to other type being, and then I did that quite instantaneously and then put that bubble onto that guy, and it, like, restructured his, like, DNA and his, like, toroidal fields and everything. It was so wild. It was just like, "Ah." If I can do that in the astral realm, we're doing that in this physical realm. And then I started making these like etheric white like jail cages for them too. And then I woke up. But it was just like it was so cool how it was like manipulating energy right in front of me. And it was like holographic type energy. And then like being able to instantly manifest it on another person's body. It was just like, oh, that's so awesome. It's so cool when you get to dream and, you play with energy and, because even in, yeah, astral realm, we all have, like, light weapons or, I have, like, light bombs and that I can throw and they're, like, crystalline, like, energy that explodes and then, like, instantly transmutes lower vibrational energies or entities. So pretty wild stuff. Again, if you guys have questions about aliens or dimensions, put them in the comment section. Can you contact extraterrestrials? Yes, I can. And I wrote a book on it. So there's so many different types of aliens. There's like over 300,000 different types of conscious sentient beings that we share this universe with. And there's probably about 1,000 that interact with our planet on like a regular basis. And probably about 100 of them that are here, like they live here or they have ships docked here or this is their home too. So you wouldn't even call them like aliens or extraterrestrials because they are Terrans. They are terrestrial beings just like us, like all the reptilians and insectoids and a lot of the giants. Yeah, there's so many. Lots of the gray beings, or they live in like the phantom matrix or a parallel reality, like the Shar and the Essassani beings. I have at least 10 gray human hybrid Essassani children. Pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Um, so let's look in the comments here. Can you connect with councils? I've I've acknowledged them like through meditations. I haven't necessarily connected with one in specific. Um, Honestly, I'm a little intimidated. Still, I'm intimidated. I'm still like, I'm learning. I'm learning like a human too. I'm very much like close, like super, super close with my star family. And that's kind of who I connect with most. And then also I channel information from the collective consciousness, from humanity and also the cosmic collective consciousness. What's happening on the other side of the Arctic wall? There's a massive reptilian base under Antarctica, and you know, it's just like a civilization. Kind of like from the Stone Ages or like Middle Ages. It's very like poor, and it's kind of like a feudal system. They do have like designs and like cloth like outside their doors and stuff, like little flags or little things. Reptilians, like even the females, they breastfeed their babies. We have a reptilian brain stem. We share DNA with them. They're just trying to live. They eat humans though, and they feed off of our energy. And that has to change. We need to find new alternatives for a lot of these beings, because they're pretty well stuck too, and they're waiting on humans to wake up and for us to go through our ascension so they can also go through their ascension too. So it's not just us going through this, like all plants, animals, all beings are going through this massive evolutionary jump right now. It's happening. There's a lot of other shady stuff going on in Antarctica, and I don't even want to go there, to be honest. Can you contact beings from the phantom? So there's like the phantom matrix. Maybe I'll just read it here. Black hole subtime distortion cycle, the bottomless pit, hell, Hades. Location of fallen angelic ET races with mutated DNA and distorted consciousness. The chaotic life forms have plagued our. That's crazy. The phantom matrix once existed as part of our own time matrix. Through repeated abuse of advanced scalar pulse technologies, i.e., ripping holes in space-time, um, this portion of our time matrix imploded 250 billion years ago, forming an 11th dimensional black hole subdimension distortion cycle within the structure of our 15-dimensional time matrix. That's so cool. Check out the Philadelphia experiment wormhole in Pennsylvania, 1943, the Zeta Regelian, aka Phi X wormhole. There's also the Phoenix wormhole slash Atlantic Ocean, Atlantis, 10,500 BC, Anunnaki, Illuminati, Bermuda Triangle, Falcon wormhole slash Atlantic Ocean, Atlantis, 10,050 BC, Reptilian Illuminati, Bermuda Triangle again. So there's like 3 different wormhole experiments: Philadelphia, Phoenix, and Falcon. So, again, I don't know everything. I'm still learning a lot of this stuff because it's like there's so much to know. Um, so that existed at one point in time and now it doesn't anymore, but I think there's still reverberations and entities that are coming through like crazy wormholes or portals. Who knows? Then there's also the anti-particle universe. Um, Partica base electric oscillation. So Parallel Earth. In the greater structure of planetary physics, our Earth represents the portion of the planetary body stationed within the frequency bands of dimensions 1 to 3 within the particle universe. Earth has its counterpart within the antiparticle universe as well called parallel Earth, which I believe that's where Bashar and the Essasanis are. It's like in the parallel Earth to us. Parallel Earth and Earth each run on parallel time continuum cycles. Or it could be like the inner Earth civilizations. I don't know. I still am confused, but I find it so fascinating. In 2000, on Parallel Earth, 1992 here, there was a major invasion by the reptilian and Zeta Gray alien races who took over the and instituted one world order in our parallel Earth. Oh, God. This is crazy. The fallen angelic legions slash false second coming drama had been successfully orchestrated on this parallel Earth system. ETs are very real in that world, and they are terrified of them because they run the place. It's a really a dire situation there for a lot of people under the ET martial law control. Many have dropped their bodies to get out so they don't get trapped in that parallel Earth. Rebel patriots called the Free Fighters, who have not fallen under mass mind control HARP technologies of parallel Earth government, have been trying to contact their parallel doppelganger selves here to warn us. At this point, they are going into pole shift and it can't be stopped. Oh my God, that's so crazy. This is so wild. Like, we're in the coolest, crazy sci fi movie ever. This is so crazy. I love it. I'm here for it. How do I know this? I had aliens come to me in 2019 and I was like, why me? Is that real? What really happened? Like they gave me a long list of all these things I had to do and I also had reptilians try to make a deal with me. At that point I didn't even really know like anything about aliens. And so I went on, like, a wild goose chase to, like, figure out why I was experiencing all these different ETs, like, why were they coming to me? I'm a nobody, like, in middle of nowhere, Canada, like, I'm nothing special. And I went through a whole bunch of hypnotherapy, Akashic Records readings. I saw a reptilian attachment specialist. I, had body talk. I had, like, lots and lots of just self-discovery and recovering past lifetimes. I did QHHT, which is quantum healing hypnotherapy technique developed by Dolores Cannon. I did my homework. I also have a bachelor's degree in marketing where I'm like hardcore into, conducting marketing research, analyzing data, statistics, business law, ethics. So I also used to live in China, Croatia, France, Quebec, BC, Alberta, and here I am in Saskatchewan. So yeah, I I've always been like hungry for knowledge and questioning things since I was really young. And so I've just done my homework. It's not hard to find this information. The floodgates of information are out there and there are hundreds of thousands, if not like, there's billions of people who are already making contact. There's hundreds of thousands of groups of CE5 groups all over the world. And people have been making contact for like some people have been doing it their whole lives and they're like 80. The first disclosure was done in 1990. They released all of the Roswell documents and like tons of patents in 2016. I was like looking at all of that in 2016, like Roswell crash and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, it actually did happen. And they tried covering it up by calling people conspiracy theorists. Huh, I wonder if they still do that today. Just kidding. Appreciate your honesty. Thank you. Is this the dawning of age of Aquarius? Dear God, I hope so. Yes. And, like, it's been happening for a long time, and it feels like a really, really long time for us, but really, like, time space is like a blip. Like, our lifetimes are so short in, like, the grand scheme of, like, billions of years. Um, So we're in the thick of the transition though. How can we get that chart? This is you can go to christosavatar.com and get these charts. I paid $22 Canadian for this. I think it was 22. And I just downloaded it and then I printed it through Canva and I ordered it and then I stuck it on some cardboard and here we go. Project Bluebeam, yeah, they might be trying Project Bluebeam in August, maybe. They're already trying a lot of stuff though. I like that chart. Thank you. Hugs and kisses. How do you deal with people who have not been awakened yet? Run. Run away from them. They're toxic and if they're not awake at this point, they're meant to just live in 3D. That's what their soul needs is just more 3D life. And you have to honor their soul mission to go through all of those really intense, harsh third dimensional levels. You're awake though. You don't have to struggle through that crap any longer. You look at this awesome book by Michael Singer, it's Journey of Souls, and it goes through like the different soul levels. It talks about like living and dying and being born and how you choose your body, like you choose your whole life. It's such an awesome book. You can trick people into activating their DNA through playing solfeggio frequencies and putting up sacred geometry art. That's just a little trick, but if someone's not ready to wake up, you don't have to expend your energy on them. What? You're an SK? Same. Who did your QHHT? What's her? Cynthia Faye. Cynthia Faye did my QHHT here, and it was in 2020 when COVID was happening, and she was like, "You're probably going to be the last person I'm going to do," but I think she's still doing sessions now. It was really funny. Sigh, nobody contacted me. I'm single for 30 years now. Maybe that's your soul lesson is just to be single. And single at 30 is not even that like you're young. You still got a lot more stuff to do. And the biggest thing about if you want a partner, you have to love yourself fully, completely, unconditionally. If you want love, the only way to attract it is if you love yourself and you have a whole self. I always question, I still find it wild that people don't. Yeah, right? I just believe everything. They just believe everything they're told. And the reason is they're in 2D, 3D. So 2D consciousness is the consciousness of like animals and plants. They're operating on their instincts. They're operating on, you know, what they're meant to be doing. And people who are like, I gotta do what the government tells me, gotta go to my job, I gotta obey the rules. That's second dimension consciousness. It's not even in the logical third dimensional brain. Third dimensional conscious brain is it's more like, okay, processing this and okay, I gotta follow that rule so I don't get in trouble for this thing. Hey. Oh, good girl. Mm. There's my 2-year-old. Hi, baby. I'm just doing a video. You want to go see Dada? No. Can you close the door, please? Okay, thank you. Cute. So yeah, people who are unawakened, they're still in this first density consciousness. And again, be careful with your energy because we are expending so much energy for us from moving just in 4D to 5D. 4D is questioning everything. That's where all the conspiracies are. That's where all the reptilians are. That's where all the ghosts are. All of the like freaky deaky weird stuff. That's 4D. If you want to get to 5D, you have to get to a place of non duality. You have to look at everything with no reaction. Also, it's when your brain and heart are in coherence, Christ consciousness. You can listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza's brain and heart coherence meditations. I recommend it for 3 months every day. If you can do it twice a day, even better. And even longer than that, do it. That is the gateway into 5D. You will activate your DNA, you will elongate your telomeres, which is the little clips they put on the end of our DNA, but you can actually elongate it out. It's yeah, those are the best meditations. I've done them for years, and that's why I'm more advanced. I'm way more in tune with my psychic abilities. Um, I'm in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. You can get my books locally here too. And yeah, I do CE5, Saskatoon CE5 events as well. And I'm going to be doing a lot more CE5 events on here as well called CE5 Raise the Vibe. And so the chart is from christosavatar.com. And it's, yeah, it's so awesome. Once I started like looking into these charts, I was just like, everything started clicking in. And like I see a lot of beings and entities and stuff like through my clairvoyant abilities. And it's so wild looking through the names and the like explanations of some of these beings. Because before I even saw this chart and bought it, um, it was like quite a few months ago, maybe in November. There was this lady and she was complaining about like, "Oh, my hands are so sore, my hands." And I was like meditating in a close by space. And I like right away just hearing her, I like um remote viewed over top of her and I saw this like really cool, like ancient, tiny little winged gargoyle thing. It was really cute actually, but like it had chains on her hands. And I was like, "Oh my god, this thing's like wild." And then like a few weeks later I got this chart and then there's this Odecticron winged reptile avian hominid gargoyle. That's one of the fallen seraphim races. I was like, "Oh my god, I saw that one." And I've seen other ones that are similar to like this and lots of like archon beings. Um yeah, it's fascinating. It's super fascinating. I kind of feel bad who don't see the bigger picture. Don't have to feel bad for them because that's what their soul needs. Their soul needs to go through more 3D stuff to learn. They're just a newer soul and as much as it's hard for us to watch, that's like, a little toddler learning how to walk, learning how to eat. They have to stumble and they have to drop stuff. They have to go through the learning process of all of this crazy wild world and so their soul can grow. The hardest lessons give the biggest learning experiences. We won. Great things are coming for you all and all of mankind. Yes, yes. I know I have better luck on other planets who is going with me. For a long time, I've been like, I want to go to Venus after this. Like, Venusians just seem so awesome, like Valiant Thor. And I have like another lady, Orthon, who's a Venusian too. Thank you, Tony. Funny people are willing to believe even though their eternal soul is on the line. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Tony. Those are cool bracelets. Thank you. I'm staying on Earth. That's cool. I feel like I might have more Earth work here, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to go back to the Pleiades where it's nice, comfortable, and everything's just good. Where do you get the chart? It's from christosavatar.com. I hear my name being called. When I look around, nobody is there. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. There's so many people. There's so many beings all around us. And now more than ever, even when you're born, you have a guardian angel plus your spirit guides, which, you know, depending on the person, there's probably between like 4 to 12 guides plus your angel. And then a lot of times you have ancestors, pets, spirit animals. Thank you, Josh. And then now, because of this ascension, I've seen it when I've done like higher self readings on people. They'll have like stadium size full amounts of people, of beings that are like helping them and watching them. And also, um, there's secondary um, guardian angels here for every light being soul. So we have 2 guardian angels. So you are never alone. You are never alone, even in the bathroom. Like, even in the bedroom, like, you're never alone. It's pretty wild. So if you hear your name, like, etherically hear your name, like, tap into that, ground your energy. A really great way of doing it is, like, imagining all of your energy going down into the earth, into the center sun and connecting. And then you breathe in, you bring that energy all the way up through your body, shoot it out the top of your head into source energy, God, source. You connect into that. And then you breathe out and breathe back in. And you bring that energy, that pure source energy, all throughout your whole body, lighting up all of your chakra systems and bringing that down into the center sun and then breathing it back up into your solar plexus and then out all around you. Then connect in. You said Joe Dispenza, correct? Yes, Dr. Joe Dispenza, brain and heart coherence. Mooseman, Saskatchewan. Yeah. Oh, and Lumsden. Oh my God. Saskatchewan people. Saskatchewan's actually a hotbed for UFOs too. I know of at least 40 other abductions here just in the city. And I've heard really cool stories where like farmers will see UFOs go into sloughs and then like come back out of them like weeks later. If you don't know what a slough is, it's like a dirty little pond. Yeah. Just watch the movie Passengers 2016. It will change your mind. Have you opened up any doors to the occult? I don't know if that's replying to me or someone else. These are individual journeys. Sleep is what many will choose. Exactly. Yeah. Some people just want to stay comfortable and not wake up. And that's what their soul wants. You don't have to have that same journey. Not that I know of, but strange things happen to me all the time. And nothing's a coincidence. Like we're attracting everything and also we're being, like, constantly reminded of, like, "Hey, remember you're, like, this amazing divine being, and you're here for, like, all these soul missions, and you need to raise the vibration of humanity and your own vibration and expand your DNA and do all these awesome, cool, badass things." Um, can you describe any experience? Oh, thank you, Josh. Like, alien experiences? I don't know. What is this called? Thank you. I have so many alien experiences and, like, they're long too. I have a whole bunch of videos. If you check my upper tabs and go My ATs, thank you, Ro. You can see all my alien experiences there, and then also I have even longer ones on YouTube as well. Um, yeah, I'm interested in learning about Venus people, the Venusians. Strawberries are from Venus. That's why they're the only fruit with seeds on the outside, and they're so good. And they're shaped kinda like a V too. Um, so every planet in our whole solar system is inhabited. They have civilizations in them, massive ones, and even in the moons, like, Ganymede off of I think it's Jupiter, they have a big civilization there too. And if there isn't a civilization, there's bases on every planet and moon. Majority of the civilizations are inside the planets. So they all have like inner civilizations. And there's lots of civilizations that live on ships as well, too. I have a lot of deja vus. Those are like time jumps or you're being like nudged, like, hey, look into this. Remember this. Sleep paralysis or seeing shadow figures. Those are when entities are trying to attach and attack and feed off of a person. So if those are happening, you need to be very, very, very strong in saying, "Get out of here. You're not allowed to be here. I am filling this whole room and my body with light energy. Like, get out. Like, you're in charge. You are in charge." And like us humans, we have a direct connection to God. We are double, if not more powerful than any low vibratory negative entity. and they will put you into a fear state to feed off of your loosh energy and make you think like you're not powerful. But in reality, you are way more powerful than they are, and they're terrified. They'll do everything they can to like trick you. Excuse me. Who created the source energy? God did. Every universe has its own God, and ours is God, the divine creator of this particular universe. And all aliens know it. It's even the negative aliens, they all know it. Um, we're all spiritual beings, and it's no secret. I have never heard of this before. That's good. Congratulations, aliens, dimensions. Yes. I grew up on a farm. I saw a lot. That's awesome. Farms, like, you get so much more space to see things. And with my C5 Saskatoon group, we were going out to a lady's ranch actually. And yeah, we made deep space contact as a group in 2020. It was so awesome. It was such a cool place. I'd love to go back actually. Hopefully this year. No sleep paralysis, but when I was younger, I had levitated off my bed while I was sleeping. So that could have been you levitating, or it could have been your astral body, um, most likely separating from your physical body. Um, so this is my Learn How to Make Contact with Benevolent Aliens book. I'm gonna try and find the picture. La, la, la. I need to put bookmarks on here. So here are the different layers. So this is like your astral body here, physical, etheric, astral. Sorry, the rainbow one. Um, mental, causal, booty, atma, body. We are like these really cool artichoke onion beings. We have all these layers and all these like intercepting um, toroidal fields around us, which makes up our Merkaba. This is a really cool like 5D um, travel like vessel. This is how like the Palladians and a lot of other highly evolved beings they travel. They don't even need ships. They just use their Merkaba, and we have the ability of activating it as well, which is so cool. All right, gonna go down the line here. Can you say anything about religion? Religion is just control systems that have been manipulating our own divinity, our own spirituality. Um, but every ancient text has a lot of truth to it. If you think of the Bible, over 50 books were strategically removed from the Bible. So humans wouldn't be able to know about reincarnation and all the Elohim entities and the Nephilim that have landed here, like the Book of Enoch, the Book of Mary, Joseph, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like there's so much stuff that's been manipulated and twisted through religion just to control people, because we are extremely powerful beings and we don't even know our true power yet. It's like it's kind of sad. But we're getting closer. That must have had a big impact on you. Yes. So you don't believe in God then? What? No. I don't believe in God or Jesus because I know. I know God. I know Jesus. It is a knowing, and all the aliens know about God and Jesus and all of the stuff too. And it's not even as complicated. Like religion made it overcomplicated, so we wouldn't even be able to really understand it or question it, and we're never told to question it, because then we would have just been poking holes through all their lies. um, Not really. I was hoping it could happen again. It was so cool. Yeah, you astral travel every night. Every time you go to sleep, your astral body detaches from your physical body, and a way of getting into lucid dreaming, when you become consciously aware in your dreams, you have to like have a signal basically. It's kind of like that movie Inception where they had the little like charm, like the pocket charm thing, like an alien charm in your pocket. um or a necklace or something. But what I do is I'm like, I look at my hands, I become conscious. I look at my hands, I become conscious. You do that multiple times every day for a few days in a row, you will do it in your dream. And that's your like cue. That's your dream cue to become conscious in your dream. And then you can fly, you can manifest anything instantly. Yeah, you can go visit anywhere. You can go and do whatever you want. Just don't get excited or you'll wake up. I have the same mic, but in pink. Cool. I love this mic. It's awesome. Red, blue, or maroon, dark bluish colors. How does the solar eclipse have affected? Uh, um, I tried posting a video about the solar eclipse, like the true meaning of it, and it got taken down on TikTok. But if you want to see it, it's on my Instagram, and it's really good. So I'm just not even going to talk about it, unfortunately. I have a sausage. Ooh. I like do you like sausages? Where are the sausages? If you've seen Kids in the Hall, it's part of it. Do you have anything on opening up more of your gifts? Yes. Yes. And that's in my Learn How to Make Contact with Benevolent Aliens guidebook. Um, I list all of the different types of gifts. Like there's even more that we have too. So psychic abilities. How many do I have in here? There's like probably 30 different types of psychic abilities like astral projection or mental projection, atomikinesis, like controlling the weather, portal manipulation, automatic writing, bilocation mind travel, which is what's used in CE5, energy medicine, ergokinesis to influence the movement of energy, levitation or transvection, materialization, mediumship or channeling, petrification, turning something into stone, prophecy, prediction, premonition, prognostication, psychic surgery, psychokinesis or telekinesis, pyrokinesis, id, shape shifting, transformation, thoughtography, exoglossy, witnessing, Anidia. And then we have all of our Claire abilities, which um, are are so awesome too. So how to activate these? First, you really have to know yourself. Like discover who you are, heal your trauma, clear your karma, clear your energy bodies. And that can be done with like raising your vibration through cleansing, through eating high vibrational foods, thinking high vibrational thoughts. You have to reprogram your reticular activating system. That's your brain's filtering system. We've been programmed so heavily, so freaking heavily with negative thought patterns. So it's key to rewire your brain, your neurological pathways for success, for abundance, for love, for the universe has your back. Like, if you've ever listened to Louise Hay, Power Thoughts, that's an awesome, awesome way to do that, even just daily. Um, so there's attunement of physical, emotional, mental, etheric, spiritual, quantum, energetic, and cosmic, all those levels to really like activate and attune your body. So I go through quite a lot of different things that you can do. Um, as I mentioned, like cleansing, emotional clearing, learning self soothing coping skills, like healthy coping skills. Tapping is a great one. A lot of people will turn to like chocolate or, binging on Netflix. And, like we're still human. We still have 3D lives. Like, don't forget your human life, number one. But also, like, be gentle and loving on yourself and do things like, take your time. You don't have to rush into any of this stuff. And your body already knows exactly what you need to. So ask your body. There's like the sway method where you can like go yes or no. Yes is usually forward, no is back. If you stand and then ask your body questions, you will sway one way or another by asking yes or no questions, obviously. Um, yeah, there's shadow work. Um, child, like inner child healing. There's so much. Forgiveness is probably one of the top things too. Forgiving yourself and forgiving others. That'll also help you heal, like on so many levels. Creating and worshiping gods outside of oneself, it's never going to be the right path. Very, very true. God is within all of us. We are created in God's image. We co-create our reality with God. The demonic, devil, evil side, they are not allowed to create. They can't create. They can only manipulate and twist. Whereas we create our reality. So like be careful. Create what you want to create. Yes, it's all energy that I can see who I consist of. 2 colors. Cool. Where can you get my book? These are on Amazon and Kindle. And then I'm also going to be doing a masterclass of these books coming up in May. So it'll be like a live event, and then you can do a Q&A through it. I'll go through both books, and you'll also get these digitally as well. And then I also have these listed on Ingram Spark, which is supposed to be like in chapters and Barnes and Noble and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where they are listed, to be honest. They're supposed to be in a lot of places, but Amazon's the surefire way. Um, and then you can also, if you are in the Saskatoon area, you can get them at a few different places, Dharma Chakra on Broadway and the Blue Room on 8th Street. Good night, sweetie. 3:15 a.m. South Africa. Thank you for being here. Good night. Thank you. Apple Bluetooth headphones can also change your perception and your mind's thought. Yeah, Bluetooth is a strong signal, just like Wi-Fi and all the other. There's a lot of things, but at the same time, those things are actually activating our DNA, and they're also helping us get used to more radiation. If we were given all of the advanced technology right now that we are going to get over the next like 100 or so years, we would all just die of radiation poisoning. So even your cell phone, it's helping you build up your immunity to radiation and also helping expand your DNA. Pretty wild. Any thoughts about you being able to see energy? Absolutely. I like since I was a young kid, I was like, what is all this stuff moving all around us? Like it's just ether. And I've always loved the periodic table of elements too. And I was always like, why is there like a chunk missing out of it? Like, why are there weird chunks missing? And then I was doing so many rabbit hole deep diving things in 2020. And on one of the videos that I watched, I'm pretty sure it was a David Wilcock one, and there was the full periodic table of elements. It's just a full rectangle, and because it includes all of the ether chemicals in it too, or the ether elements. Like, we've been lied to so much on every freaking level, and especially, like, the periodic table of elements, like, of course, it's not missing pieces in there, come on. Oh my god. Anyways, but yeah, we all have abilities, we all can have clairvoyant abilities. We innately have these things within us. Meat suits are stupid, am I right? No, we're amazing. We're, like, incredible divine beings, and we're dramatic. We got some drama. We got some trauma, but it doesn't make us stupid. I'm in Canada. That's awesome. Where in Canada are you? I'm in Saskatchewan in the middle. I guess it's tough to describe unless you can also see it. Just visualize it. Visualizing is kind of like the first step into activating your third eye. We are created by God, Anunnaki, or other aliens. So like God created everything. And even with like the Higgs boson particle, like the God particle, that's like God is the blueprint maker in this universe, and every universe has its own God. Um, so what the Anunnaki did so long ago, they came here because they needed to mine gold. and the reptilians were already here, and Anunnaki had like some gray slaves, basically like little gray biological beings that are very, very intelligent. And they're like, okay, little gray beings mine us gold. And they're like, we're too smart for this. Screw you. And then the Anunnaki went to the reptilians and they're like, hey, can you mine gold for us? And they're like, get off our planet. But the Anunnaki's like, what are you going to do? We're way more powerful than you are. Like, and then the Anunnaki was like, why don't we just create a slave race with these Neanderthal beings that are here that were created even longer before that by like Pleiadians and Syrians and like a few other groups. And what's even more wild is there's like this ancient prophecy from like gazillions of years ago. And the prophecy states that there's going to be this like mishmash race of beings that are both light and dark beings. And they're going to eventually become the guardians of this galaxy and finally bring peace to this galaxy and this universe. That's us humans. We got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. But this is the beginning of it. And, so yeah, like, they took the Neanderthals and mixed about 22 to 24 different species of aliens into us, including reptilian, the Anunnaki, gray, insectoid, Palladian, Syrian, Lyran, I don't know, a whole bunch of different types of beings. And they made the slave race. That was the Rh negative. That was the first slave bloodline of humans. And then, what happened with the other Neanderthals that didn't have their DNA tinkered with, they evolved naturally onto being Sasquatch and Yeti and Bigfoot. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's how we are like connected to Sasquatch. I love Sasquatch too. It's like so awesome. Can you explain ringing in the ears sounds like plane taking off and seeing clear objects floating? So, ringing in the ears is your ear chakras. If you have it like extremely loud, it's because your ear chakras are trying to become activated. So, if you are fighting it by any way, not being, not going into meditation, not being still, not grounding, that ringing is going to get more and more and more intense and annoying and frustrating and infuriating until you like literally, do the work. I had really bad ringing in my ears in like my mid 20s, and I was diagnosed with labyrinthitis. I had like horrible vertigo and like all this crazy stuff, and it was cuz my ear chakras, I was just fighting it. And what you have to do is like you have to go inward. You have to like work on yourself, do the like dark nights of the soul and inner child healing, clearing your karma. Listening to solfeggio frequencies will help open them up and help you, calibrate your body for like higher divine alignment, which again, you'll be able to see more objects etherically. Your visible light spectrum will begin to expand as well. So you'll be able to see entities or beings or, like even the Miami Mall incident, where the aliens just showed up there and the aliens were like, "Oh shit, they can see us. Damn, this was not going to plan." And the humans were like, "Oh my god, I can see those aliens." Like, so that's going to happen more and more. And there's more being seen every day. It's so so awesome. Sun gazing helps also. Yes. Sunrise, sunset, that's huge also for like activating your pineal gland. Sometimes I grab an umbrella because I'm thinking it's raining outside, but it's only during daytime. Is Jesus your Lord and Savior? Yes. Praise Jesus. Jesus is besties with all the aliens, and all the aliens know about Jesus, and it's so cool. They're like amazed by Jesus's time here on earth. 'Cause Jesus, who's like, he's on here, the Christatic mind, um, Christ avatar. His consciousness is the consciousness of the Milky Way galaxy, and is such an extremely advanced high being. It's so rare. It's like maybe it only happened like a couple times where that highly evolved being. incarnated on such a dense, heavy, traumatic, third dimensional place on Earth. And what happens when you incarnate on this planet, like any third dimensional Earth school planet, your memories get wiped. That's just the name of the game here. So Jesus literally, he went to Egypt for what, a decade or so or more, and relearned all of his advanced knowledge, and he realized, "Whoa, I'm the consciousness of this whole Milky Way galaxy, like, this is awesome." Then he went back to Israel, and he could walk on water and heal and, um, you know, mass like, he made all those fish, like, from a few fish, turn water into wine. He did those things, like, he actually did those things because he's such a highly advanced being, and there's aliens that come from like other distant galaxies through time space to the time that Jesus was incarnated here on Earth just to watch because it's so cool and it's so well known and renowned, not only in this universe, but through the multiverse. So, yes, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and Jesus is 5D consciousness, 5D life now. That's everything. We are moving back into Christ consciousness. Jesus is literally returning through our hearts and brain coherence. Um, because energy fools me. Okay, gotta go. Good luck on your study. Thank you for being here. She should read the Bible more. Oh my God. I have my Bible right up there. And I do read my Bible sometimes, but there's 50 books missing from the Bible. There's over 50 books missing from the Bible. And it's been manipulated so heavily. Just listen to Billy Carson and he's like the modern day Black Jesus in my opinion. What do you say about being an empath? Empaths, like, also, I think it depends on your astrological sign too, like water signs. You're gonna be like even more empathic than most other people. Um, we're all really empaths. We can all tap into that clair empathy. That's a clairvoyant ability. And we have like um, or yeah, clairsentience, empathy, claircognizance, clairgustance, yeah, there's I think 9 of them. I'll go into my book here and find the little chart on these because like humans really need to know this. Like we've deserved to know this information. So here's the different clair abilities. We all have these. I'm not any more different or special than any human. We all are special. We are all divine beings. We are all like incredible. So clairvoyance is clear seeing, clairaudience is clear hearing, clairsentience, clear feeling, claircognizance, clear knowing, clear empathy, clear emotion, clear tangency, clear touching, clear radiance, clear smelling, clear gustance, clear tasting, clear intellect, clear thinking. Pretty awesome. And even the like normies, the unawakened people are like, oh, my unction told me. Oh, oh, my gut feeling. Oh, my spidey sense is tingling. It's like, that's your clair ability. That's a extra sensory perception ability that we all have. Even the people that are so asleep, like my parents. My parents don't even know I've written these books. They don't even know I have a TikTok account, really. Everyone should. The lost important books of the world. Yes. Love your storybook way of saying this horror. I love your storybook way of seeing this horror story. That's really funny. Ear candling assisted me. Oh, cool. What do you think about Contact in 2027? Contact's already happening. Like 2019 was the year that humanity was ready for it. And a lot of stuff came out that year and then boom, COVID hit. No surprises there. I was contacted by Galactic Federation beings and reptilian beings in 2019. And Yeah, that's why I went on this, like, wild goose chase to figure out everything I could about everything, and, like, mass contact, it's happening on an individual level, and the way we can, like, speed it up and, like, I don't know. I don't like, the government and aliens are not going to do disclosure. That's just not going to happen. Us people, us humans, we have to do the disclosure ourselves. We have to be the people on the ground doing the disclosure. We have to be the ones contacting them. We have to do the work to earn their trust. Right now, in the universe, humans are seen as barbaric, extremely dramatic, untrustworthy, smelly, energetically and physically smelly beings. We do not have a good rap in the universe right now. We have so much work to prove ourselves, to prove that we are worthy. We are like worth contacting. It is worth for them to come down, which technically there's been enough people contacting. We have proved it, but still, don't wait. Don't wait for any government or any alien to come down to you. You do the work now and you take control of it. That's what we came here for. 18 years in Egypt, Jesus spent almost 20. And Jesus learned like the ancient knowledge from the Egyptians, which was really from like the Mesopotamians and from the Anunnaki and Lemurians and like so many. Hi, Sarah. Um, Do you think you'll end up in heaven? You're currently on the wide path of destruction. Um, you know, I most likely will not go back into the reincarnation cycle. I might just go to Venus or somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm a Malbec starseed. My planet was destroyed a long time ago. so, but I have a secondary starseed race, which is Alpha Centauri, which is like a gray, which I don't want to go back to that lifetime either. So the Claires, yes. Three of us had seen a bright red dot glow in front of us in the forest one night and felt its energy. There's so many beings. There's so many beings all around us all the time. And not just in this dimension or this reality, but like in all of the different dimensions and subdimensions. We're never alone. I'm 83. I saw a ship 20 feet away hovering for about 10 minutes. That's so cool, Lars. That's awesome that you're 83 and on TikTok and sharing your UFO experience. Thank you. Thank you for being here. That's so cool. And again, like it's so common. There's so many aliens all around us. I've been told a few times that I'm an empath. My job is date of birth is 22/11/67. What sign am I? November 22nd is at the cusp. So that's either Scorpio cusp, I'm thinking. Da, da, da. November 22nd astrological sign. I have to look now. Okay, you're Sagittarius. So you are right on the cusp of like November 22nd is Sag. So you do probably have a lot of Scorpio tendencies. Sagittarius is a fire sign. They're the horsemen, very courageous. They're they're cool. I like Sag. I'm married to Sagittarius actually. I'm a Capricorn, but you also have a sign for every planet in the solar system that's like calibrated at the exact moment of time space when you incarnated and like took your first breath. Our breath is our like vibrational resonance through time space. We are worthy. Yes. Most humans can't comprehend what an alien could be, definitely not in a body form. Yeah, there's so many different types, and there's a lot of beings that share this planet with us too. They're not even like aliens, they're other Terrans. And like eventually we're going to just be calling them by their names, like they're reptilian or if they're Palladian or they're Alpha Centauri or, Zeta Reticuli. Um, I use the name aliens, which is a little, like, off-putting in some certain ways, but everyone knows what an alien is, and I've always liked the name, like, the term alien, but eventually, like, we're gonna call them star people or Terrans or, find out what the exact name or species they are, and some of them. They're more light or they're like a gaseous type being. They're like yeah, there's so many different types. Makes sense that we have a bad reputation. Yeah, it's sad. Doing a great job educating. Keep it up, love. Thank you, Sarah. Same with you. I love all your videos. Cool experience. Watch the news and it will make sense. Don't watch the news. No watching news. 1122 master numbers. Scorpio. November 22nd. November 22nd to December 21st is Sagittarius. What do you know about Aquarius, please? February 1st. Um, if you break the astrological signs into four, they're so easy, much easier to understand. Earth, air, fire, water. Aquarius is the water bearer, but it's an air sign. Air signs typically can mimic other signs and they're very aloof. Aquarius are much more social, though. A lot of times they'll have like a lot of blue energy around them. I have a few friends that are Aquarius. I like them. They're pretty easygoing. Gemini, though, the twins. Gotta watch out for those ones. I have Gemini in my moon, so I can get away with saying that. I had dreams about aliens since early childhood. You were probably abducted. You were probably, hey, Charles, hello. Our breath is a mystery frequency. Yes. Extraterrestrials. I was told my birth date makes me a celestial being. It's possible. It's possible. Any information from Antarctica? Why don't you astral travel or remote view it? Because you can. You have that ability. There's like so many bases. There's a massive reptilian civilization and under Antarctica. There's a whole bunch of ships. There's like a massive mothership. There's an entrance into inner Earth. There's a lot of shady experiments going on there. Lots of like entities that guard it. Like there's a lot. There's Nazi bases there. Like there's so much in Antarctica. My birthday is December 23rd. So yeah, Capricorn. Thanks. What is my sign? James, PhD. You're a Capricorn, somewhat close to the cusp of Sagittarius. Capricorn are the fish goat. They are nerdy and adaptable. I am a fish goat too. I'm a nerd. Yeah. It's crazy. I have two kids. One's Aquarius, one's Gemini. Funny you mentioned those together. They are crazy. I could see that. And, like, they must keep you guessing a lot of times too. You're like, "What are they doing? What are they actually up to?" Uh-oh. Live will end if I don't do this thing. Oh my god. Okay, sorry, I just had to do a weird verification thing. Humans are carbon-based entities. Any thoughts or experiments on what aliens could be made of? Yes. A lot of them are silica-based. Some of them are just, like, other light forms, that we don't even understand yet. Some are gaseous based. I think there's this really cool group in Thailand that like goes on this mountain and they've been contacting this like gaseous based alien group that's I think they're past Jupiter or maybe like around Neptune or something. I can't really remember. They have a big Facebook group. Last I saw of it, there was like 20,000 people in it or more. Like, and they've been doing this for like 20 years or something. Like, it's really really cool. Us humans, we are actually evolving. We are mutating right now into another form. I think it's more like crystalline based. So our DNA is and our bodies are literally like crystallizing. We're going beyond carbon based as we speak. I'm an Aries, so I can deal mostly. Yeah. I'm Aries rising. Aries are, yeah, the the ram. Urgh. They like to get rammy and fiery. Why do you need to watch out for Geminis? I'm a Gemini. Sorry. Geminis are the twins, so they can be manipulative. We have an innate ability of being like playing this role, but also playing this role. And it's good for like adaptability and like comedic relief and for like strategic planning, but also like Geminis can be shady. Any sign can be, but like Geminis have that extra ability of being like, oh, I can do two things at once or 10 things at once. Like, yeah. And any air sign, they're hard to like pin down. They're hard to know what they're thinking, especially for like an earth sign where you're like, just tell me the facts. And the Gemini and like any air signs like, no, just keep guessing. Whereas the water signs will be like, I'll tell you my emotions. And then the fire signs are like, let's party. Ah, fire, burn. Anyways, there are malevolent ETs, but most are benevolent. Yes, there are way more benevolent, loving ETs out there. There's only very small groups of negative ones. Some are more spread out, like the reptilians. They're very much like the Borg from Star Trek. It's like divide, conquer, assimilate, exploit. And that's what they're attempting here on Earth. But like they know they're so screwed and they're building bunkers and they can't leave the planet because fourth dimensional technology won't work in 5D. Doesn't work. But it's all good. Energy beings. Aries triple fire is surrounded by water. Yeah. I'm Aries too. We need to move out of carbon beings. Yeah. What do you feel about numerology? My life path number is 33 and my name number is 8. Advise. So, as far as I know about life path numbers, like they're just numbers from 1 to 9. There's no double digits. So, technically your life path number would be a 6. I'm a 9. I don't really know any of the other life path numbers until I Google them. So let's just Google 6 life path number. Implies you have an affinity for your home, family life, and you live in service to others. That's quite beautiful. I know some people who they they studied that like so intensely, and also like the human design app, which is super interesting. I just had mine done like I don't know, November. Very, very interesting. I don't know that much about it. I'm more like astrology, palmistry, aliens, dimensions. But I still love that stuff. It's really cool. Never met a lizard we liked. That's funny. Are you belong to a fire sign? Um, I'm Capricorn, Gemini, Capricorn, Aries rising, whole bunch. What do you think of Hat Man? I've seen a few Hat Mans. They're just entity like, they're negative entities, they're parasites, they're just another one of the many, many beings out there, and, like, I think Hatman the way that it's, like, interdimensional, energy is, like, depending on how much loosh it's gotten, it can have more powers, and be able to, like, show itself more, and ultimately, it's doing that to make people fear it, to put them in a fear state. And that just gives them more power, really. It's like a just a negative loop, unfortunately. And, I've also heard something about them too. It was like they usually start out just by like they're just entities, and then as they get more loose and they become more ancient or evolved, they like grow higher and taller, and then they eventually, like, get their hat. So I think it is kind of an evolved entity type thing, but, you know, there's so many of them. Don't worry about them. Don't focus on that. They are more scared of you. You just flick them away and say, like, "Don't come near me, or I will transmute you, and see you later." Hat Man is actually gray. I think maybe we were talking about a different Hat Man. Hat Man is love. The ones I've seen are not love. Humans feel anxiety when they see us sometimes. What gives us humans more power is raising our vibration. Raise your vibration to higher levels, and yeah. I think someone said life path number 5. Life path 5 is a person with variety of talents. They can run several projects at the same time and have a gift for advising and communicating with others. Um, this life path is most suited for careers that have freedom and ability to change. I've also, like, my son is the life path number 5, and it was said that you have to be very, very careful with like dairy and gluten for that life path number. They have way more sensitive stomachs and way more like intuition with other things too. I'm gonna have to go soon, but if you have any like really intense questions about aliens, communication, dimension, put them in the comments. People see the shadows, think they are evil, but evil hides as an angel of light. Sometimes entities are going to do anything they can to trick you, whether that's showing up as a beautiful being, or an alien looking being, or a human looking being, or your grandma, or a gargoyle. They're going to do anything they can. They're tricksters. But if you just feel the resonance of their vibration, you won't be able to, they can't mask their energy really like that. As a child, I would have dreams of ships out my window, and in my 60s starting to have the same dream. Oh, that's so cool. You were probably abducted and you were probably used in the Gray Human Hybrid program, just like me and like millions, probably even billions of people in the last 80 years. If you're having them again, it could be like those memories resurfacing so you can recall those memories, or maybe you're getting abducted again. Um, I need to change my life path 22, one of the master numbers that you don't break down into a single digit. I didn't know that. I don't know. I have depression. How do I raise, how do raise your vibration when you're depressed? So, depression is when you're focusing too much on yourself. Anxiety is when you're focusing on too many other things that might happen. It's like focusing on the future, depression's focusing on the past. You have to get into the present moment. And I've heard this by other people. Depression, unfortunately, is selfish. It's because you're too self-focused. You have to get out of that like tunnel vision of yourself. And I'm not saying that to like make you feel bad or anything like that at all. It's coming to a self-actualization, a realization. Also, there's a lot of things that can also affect our bodies to make us in a depressive state. So, toxic food, toxic water, toxic energy, toxic air, toxic frequencies all around you. You have to go through like like systematically. Okay, I need to raise the vibration of the food that I'm eating. I need to cleanse my body. I need to get more sunlight. Sunlight is a huge thing. Vitamin D is massive. D3 and K vitamins are so important. Vitamin D takes care of, I don't know, like 1,000 or more functions in the body. There's, yeah, a lot of things, but ultimately, raise your vibration, eat healthy foods, like eat foods that give you life energy. And love yourself. I love you. That's a giant cup that you were drinking out of. Yes. Um, be watcher spirit behind mind, thinker, soul. Do you ever have an abduction experience? Yes, I've had lots of abduction experiences. Check out my ETs tab on my profile, and you can see my different abductions and interactions with aliens. Vibrations of what? Everything is energy. Everything is energy. Everything. This cup is first dimension consciousness energy. The Thank you for the hearts. Um, the atomic structures, the most basic structure is energy, and it's made in everything. Energy vibrates. Feel your emotions and vibrations. So the pyramids have anything to do with aliens? Yes. Yes. They have everything to do with aliens. And same with ancient civilizations. Like Earth history is nothing what we've been told. Nothing. What are your thoughts on Dorothy Edie Seti reincarnation? That sounds so familiar, but I don't know it. Um, I think I have seen some of her videos. Dorothy Edie Seti, folklorist. Seti. I don't know. I think yeah, I'll have to look into her. Thank you. Um, in the family, there's four of us that were born 22 the month and lived at 22. Interesting. I will try. I channeled something like answering the mothership. It freaked me out. Is that normal? Yeah. When you first make contact, it's freaky and weird, and you're like, what's actually going on? And depending on the type of beings and who you're interacting with and how the interaction goes, like our bodies are always like looking out for us, making sure we're going to survive, right? So it's easy for us to get into the sympathetic nervous system mode and feel unsafe and feel anxious. And it really takes so much effort and work to build up those coping skills and coping mechanisms to get yourself back into parasympathetic mode so you can like function properly and think through things properly. So it's yeah, it's totally normal to get freaked out the first couple times you make contact, and then once you get used to it, you find your new normal. What are your thoughts on Bashar? I love Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anka. Bashar is the leader of the Essassani um, Benevolent uh, Gray Human Hybrid group. I personally have 10 gray human hybrid Essassani beings, or like children. And so I learned about Bashar like in 2020 and did a lot of like deep diving into him and the Essassani groups. And yeah, they're so fascinating. Thank you, Rachel. I love Bashar. I post a ton of his videos too. He's spot on with like everything. Some beings are impersonating gray beings to demonize them in some of these abductions. The US military, or like military industrial complex, they after the guys come and do their abductions, the MIC will typically come and abduct that person just to see what those grays did, which they do like horrific, horrific things. It's really bad. Energy, vibration, frequency. I think she is a walk in. Thank you. I love Bashar. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you all. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, learn how to contact with benevolent aliens and 5D consciousness activations. This one's super beginner. This one is a little bit more advanced. And I'm going to be doing a masterclass on these coming up in May. And also, I'm going to be doing some live CE5 Raise the Vibe events. And yeah, TikTok. YouTube, Instagram, Rumble, Spotify, I think, and X, and a little bit of Facebook. So yeah, if you want to check me out on those, I gotta take off. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next live. Bye bye. Bye.